If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I'm going to show you a video clip in a minute that is just unbelievable that we're seeing this on television and that people still think that we're all crazy. But why do they think that? Because they tie this stuff in to fiction. They tie this stuff into ridiculous stuff like professional wrestling. And people just, they see it and they laugh at it. Now, I've covered this character before, Bray Wyatt. And the character is pretty much portraying somebody who's demonically possessed. He has altars. He's a regular guy. Then he's a demon. He's demonically possessed. And he asks people to let him in. It's really unbelievable stuff. I've covered it many times over. And again, I want to thank a subscriber for posting this on my website, accallforunuprising.com. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't checked out the website, please do. And consider becoming a member for $2.99 a month. Great information being shared there. This is where we can all get the truth out and not worry about the censorship here on YouTube. And it's an easy way for us to interact and keep the community going. So check it out if you haven't. So thank you to that person. Take a look at this clip. This isn't just, for those of you that don't know, professional wrestling isn't what it was in the 80s when it actually was like kind of entertaining. It's beyond mainstream now. They cover professional wrestling, even though they admit it's not a sport, on ESPN, on SportsCenter, and things like that. The stock is like almost $100 a share. Last time I checked it was when I did a video on it. And on top of that, they're now on Fox, right? And Fox, of course, 666, which I've talked about before in numerology and gematria. But that means it's national. This isn't like basic cable. This isn't like the old days. This is national. Fox is one of the biggest channels, if not the biggest channel out there. And take a look what they were playing for the kids out there to see.
Raise your mind into the muscle man.
Erase your mind. Let me in, let it all in, but don't let those reptilians in. Oh, no. Don't let the reptilians in. They'll take over your home. You gotta tell them to stop it. Stop it, reptilians. Stop it.
Let me in.
You can't make it up, can you? Now, first of all, let's dissect this, because not only are we seeing, just the basic symbology that I talk about, which I'll go through right here. You're also seeing Bible verse, which is pretty rare. There's actually quoting Revelation if you pause it. Remember, I've talked about this before. They flash imagery really, really fast. People aren't going to pick up on it, right? People aren't going to rewind and click and pause and go through every millisecond of these frames and these shots. But that's what I'm doing here to show you what they're doing. There's imagery, ends up going into your subconscious mind. Your mind is still reading and processing this, but you're on a conscious level, you're not. Okay, you're just seeing the whole theatrical production here. And that's why they use imagery all the time in videos to program people, but people don't realize that their brain works on two different levels, conscious and a subconscious level. So we get him talking about reptilians, right? I mean, you got to be kidding me here, right? So about reptilians, which obviously is a way to trigger people, because when people hear reptilians, they automatically dismiss it, and they, lizard people. We hear, Colbert and all these people. This is another way of speaking about demons and demonic possession. And by the term reptilian, people think it's like some crazy thing like that picture they showed of some green thing. Okay, but he's clearly playing a character who is demonically possessed, who wants people to let him in. You saw a sign held up that said, "Let me in." And who's standing there holding up the sign? Well, that's, a portrayal of Lucifer, of the devil. That's what that's supposed to be, whether that's what he looks like or not. That's what he's supposed to be. That's what he's telling you, right? Let me in. And then how does all this other stuff tie into it? How interesting, right, that we see the Freemasonry compass. Why? That must be a real coincidence. I mean, what is he, just like watching my channel and other truthers? And none of us are like mainstream. None of us are on television shows. Nobody knows who we are except you guys on YouTube who follow our channels. So where does he get this information from? These people like us who talk about the connection between Freemasonry and worshiping Lucifer and these secret societies and how they network into the occult. Interesting, right? A character who is demonically possessed, talking about his altars and split personalities. even mentioning Freemasonry, right? Oh, but he's trolling me. This is what the dummies out there say. He's trolling channels like us and people like us. I mean, this is a company that's a $1 billion company with, it gets millions of views. Probably look at how many views the YouTube channel gets alone. Yeah, and they're trolling little old me who gets 20,000 views. Let's just troll some of these guys like a call for an uprising and the others out there. No, that's not what's happening here. This is the truth right in front of your face. The connections between all these things are real. So you see the Freemasonic compass. What a shock, right? What else do we see? We see, obviously, the blatantly obvious, which is constant showing of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, right? The back of the dollar bill. But they also even go out to show you just blatantly obvious, pyramids inside of circles, all that kind of stuff. Then you even have, pyramids with lightning bolts, right? And I've talked about the lightning bolt in Luke chapter 10, verse 18. So he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. That's why we always see the lightning bolt. And again, it's not because these people love thunderstorms. Marilyn Manson isn't just a big thunderstorm fan. David Bowie wasn't Lady Gaga, but we're always seeing the lightning bolt, right? Wonder why we never see snowflakes or anything like that. And I guess they don't like the rain when it comes with lightning. They just like lightning on its own. I don't know. I guess I'm just making this stuff up because it's only everywhere constantly, but people refuse to look at the signs and the symbols. So you see the lightning bolt with the pyramids. You see obviously the reptilian with the all-seeing eye. Then you see the Egyptian, just the Egyptian nonsense, right? Because all this stuff ties into Babylon. And then you actually get, in addition to some other satanic stuff I'll show you, you actually get Bible scripture. That's right. They actually put Bible scripture up there, right, for everybody to see. And they're referencing the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 8. He said, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and he fell, and hell followed with him. Excuse me. So, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Revelation chapter 6, verse 8, right behind him. Referencing this stuff, right? Remember, this is a spiritual warfare. This stuff is really going on. Sure, so it must be a huge coincidence, right? I mean, how many things do I cover on a daily basis showing you that they're always referencing God and they're always referencing the devil? And who are they making look cool, right? They're making Lucifer into the protagonist, Christians and Jesus into the bad guys, our Father in heaven into the villain, inverting everything here on earth. That's what they're doing, and that's what they've been doing, and people don't want to see it. This guy, Bray Wyatt, is the most popular character in the WWE. You can read the comment section below on these WWE videos, and everybody's like drooling. Oh, it's the coolest character ever. He's the only reason that WWF or WWE is still good, right? Pushing this guy as the main guy, the protagonist, the demonically possessed one, who normally this would be like a villain, like a scary character or something in a horror film. No, this is the cool guy, and of course he's their world champion, even though it's fake. Now, he's the guy, if they have the belt on one of these guys, that means that they're the main guy. They're the guys that they're going, they're marketing the most, right? The champion's the guy who gets marketed the most. They don't put the world belt on the, some guy from, that nobody knows. They make these guys into big stars like The Rock and like Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin. So that's what they're doing here with this guy. So he's referencing scripture. You get the pentagram, of course, which I showed you before. He always is using the pentagram. And then you get the sign that says conform, right? This is a play off of They Live, obviously, the movie They Live with Roddy Piper, where, constantly, the signs are talking about conform and the brainwashing, the social engineering that goes on in our society. Then you get them in front of Stonehenge, which, right, I've covered so many times from the solstices and the equinoxes where they have these events at Stonehenge and witchcraft is going on. And everybody's like, oh, it's just pagans having fun. This is where they perform witchcraft. What do you think? He's just throwing this in here with his satanic character? Because it's like, oh, it's just a coincidence. I want to show everybody Stonehenge. And then you get, him in front of the Egyptian pyramids. You get them showing, someone doing yoga. Like, these are all things that we all cover. And people look at us like we're crazy. They're showing you all this stuff in a row, right? Yoga. And, I've talked about Aleister Crowley, and he was a big teacher of yoga, and that's why, yoga is one of these main things now. We've got goat yoga, Baphomet yoga, right? And opening your third eye, becoming your own God, this oneness crap that they preach that everybody's fallen for, which is just unbelievable. And then you get this one. This is I don't know which is, well, I guess the Freemason was probably the most ridiculous one, but you get the Baphomet, right? You see him standing in front of in front of the Baphomet logo. You see the horns coming out of the Baph, and you can see all the sigils and crap written on the side. You can see the pentagrams drawn, the pyramids with the eyes drawn, other sigils that are written there. But, it's all a coincidence, right? It's all just a big old coincidence. Bray Wyatt in the WWE is trolling little old me. I don't think so, folks. This is really happening. We're living in this time period. This stuff that they're doing, they're not basing their writing off of watching YouTubers like me, okay? This isn't stuff that's talked about on the mainstream. So how would they know about all this stuff? You're telling me Vince McMahon is sitting there with his thumb up his rear end watching my channel? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And even if he was, why would they put this type of, occult symbolism in it with a character who is playing somebody who is pushing demonic possession and people becoming demonically possessed by saying, "Let me in," and then having Lucifer hold up a sign that says, "Let me in." This is what's being marketed towards kids now, towards teens. This is the stuff that's cool, right? I've been saying this for years now. Have you seen the flip? How Lucifer, the TV show Lucifer, he's the cool guy. Bray Wyatt's the cool guy. Who's the bad guy? Who are the ones they mock? Us, Christians. Truthers, people who are awake. And the dumbed down masses out there, the sheeple, they just continue to eat this stuff up and they just laugh like everything's a big joke. Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They ain't going to be laughing when the trumpets sound. I thank you for listening to today's show. Please consider checking out the website if you haven't. Again, callforuprising.com. And if you haven't become a patron, please consider doing so. A lot of people at the end of the month drop out of being patrons. It's pretty frustrating, but this channel needs all the support it can get. And, we all do. All the truther channels out there, even $1 a month, it goes a long way with the amount of subs that we have. So please consider if you find this channel informational and, you're somebody who tunes in every day. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you again for listening to today's show. Keep your kids away from this type of crap, but share it with people. They need to see it. I thank you again. God bless all of you and your families.